Hey, Rick the Critic, checking in with you today to see how you're handling with the pandemic. God, I'll be so glad when this is over. It's like, it's like close in, come out, close in, come out, close in. And then it's almost like, well, if you would have just, taken put the mask on, and then we wouldn't be into this. It's like, yeah, okay. So, come on, guys, we gotta knock this out. We're bigger than this. And plus, November 3rd is election time. We want to be strong and healthy and be able to walk to the polls. I'm not trying to mail my ballot in. I don't know about you. Anyway, you heard the thing about Kanye. You heard the thing about Will and Jada. Listen, you know what? Let me tell you my personal opinion. Any publicity, good or bad, is publicity. And since the pandemic, nobody's been actually talking about. So it's like, let's get something started. You know what? To be honest with you, who really cares? That's between him and her. If she gonna sit at the red table and tell him this and that and this and that and da 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 da, and he gonna look like he just got shot in the head like a deer with the headlights. Hey, that's on them. To be honest with you, and I don't know what the big deal is because, as I recall, they were kind of out there like when they first got married. Didn't they have an open relationship, open marriage or something? So what's the big deal? And let me tell you, who cares? Who really cares? Listen, the guy that told, he's cool. Will and Jada, they cool. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that are like them and the people that surround themselves, are surrounded by them or they surround themselves with, they don't. Everybody knows what's going on. This is not anything. This is not new. We really don't have time to really get caught up in it. If we really want to get caught up in something, let me tell you what we really need to be concentrating on. How about reparations? Listen, you know what? And maybe it's just me and just hey, you know how I am. I'm Rick the Critic, and so when things pop up into the mind, I just say them, because I want to know if you're thinking like I'm thinking. Because hey, listen, do you remember some years ago when they had the Million Man March? Okay, maybe it's just me, but how come they didn't collect like 1 million signatures and maybe $1 million that we probably could have backed a candidate? But forget about backing a candidate. Okay, that's just, let's just even get onto that. But we could have got a million signatures. There were 1 million men there. Why didn't we press reparations at that time? We had a we had an audience, we had a platform. Just I'm just talking. Same thing with Black Lives Matter. We have an audience. You know, why don't we, make our leaders be accountable? How about we go to the schools, pull out some of those third, fourth, fifth graders, and make each senator, you know, each governor, each congressperson, each council person, how about lobbyists? How about making them responsible and becoming a mentor for one of them? Even an attorney or a judge, if they just took just one child. At least when the police came into our communities, those children would be, equipped to at least be able to know the law, or at least be able to tell someone else, listen, don't say anything. You have the right to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm not picking on anybody. Hey, because hey, what about the churches? Listen, let me tell you something. The churches collect more money than any non-profit organization, because that's pretty much what the church is. The church has become a business. But you know what? And maybe it's just me. You know how I am. I'm Rick. Have they been awfully quiet? Have you noticed that the churches have been very, very quiet? I have not there, not been vocal. I heard T.D. Jakes a few weeks ago. I was very disappointed in him. He gets on there and he says, yes, it's happening in Africa. They're taking the people and making slaves out of them. I'm thinking to myself, we got some real life slave issues right here. We got some people that's getting killed here. We got folks coming into other folks' house, looking at them in their night clothes and thinking, "Oops, in the wrong house." That's something we need to. We can't listen. You cannot help anybody until you help yourself. We don't have any energy to help anyone. We got to help ourselves. We are in a very natural state of extinction here. Okay? If they keep coming in your apartment and thinking it's their apartment and killing your sons and you know what I'm saying, your daughters and your uncles, your nephews, your fathers, your brothers, I mean, we're going to be becoming extinct pretty soon. So we really have some more important issues in Africa right now. And there's enough people in Africa, because Africa is not just as primitive as they always make it sound. They got enough people in Africa, and I mean some sharp brothers, because those damn Nigerians is the smartest rascals I've ever seen in my life. And if you think they aren't, try going on one of those dating sites. Oh my God. They will talk that talk to you. I know. They will talk that talk to you and string you all the way out and then ask you for $30,000, $40,000 like it's nothing. Oh, they got a cold game, and you should see the women that have been deceived by these guys. So, I mean, when you're talking about Africa, they got some. I'm telling you, those Nigerians is the smartest rascals I've ever encountered. And heaven forbid, I mean, the what is it, the Belfriend? They're trying to start their own country. Whatever. Listen, it's way bigger than me. But my point is this: it ain't like Africa is there with just some idiots and they sitting there with a bone in their nose. You know what I'm saying? Scratching their ass. You know what I'm saying? With a bone in their head and looking around with a spear in their hand. It ain't that kind of party. Trust me. Them brothers and sisters are very, very sharp. I mean, sharp, sharp, sharp. Okay? So, I'm sure they can handle whatever that crisis is in Africa. I'm sure they got that. So, I don't know who paid him to diffuse or him to try to do some misdirection, but he would want to sit down because that was not nice. And it really exposed him. I don't even know what he was thinking about. He just got out there, and I guess he thought about it and the money, and he just forgot about what he was, you know what I'm saying? He forgot about the people. That's not right. That's just not right. And listen, let me tell you something. The churches, as much money as the churches get, you know what I'm saying? They should have a tuition. If you've been giving your tithes and offering to your church for years, when it's time for your child to graduate, there should be some type of funding there to assist them in whatever area of studies that they would like to go into. The church. The church should have a bank. Why do you have to go to a regular bank to ask for a loan when you and 50 million others in the church are having, you know what I'm saying, are giving your tithes and offering? How come when you get sick, you got to go to the county hospital, but your pastor, he comes across the pulpit and tell you, I had the best surgeon in the world. He's a top surgeon. While you sitting there struggling at the county building waiting 15 hours just to see somebody. You know, church, okay? And I'm not picking on the church. What I'm talking about is truth, and you know it. At some point in time, leadership has got to become accountable for what they're doing. During this pandemic, they have been very silent. I ain't heard the church say nothing except they're going to be online where they can still get tithes and offering, or they're going to be outside. Now, hey, and this is just me talking, and you know what I'm saying? You do it the way you want. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know how I am. I'm just going to put it out there. First of all, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see any elderly or mother of the church receive a check. And I'm not saying that the church should have sent her a check for $500, $600. I'm just saying, if they would have called the mother, they have to send everybody a check. They could have just sent the mothers or the brothers and just said to them, listen, you know what? Uh, During this pandemic, we don't know what's going on, and the church has this amount of funds. But hey, listen, we're gonna write you a check. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even have to say it. They could have just sent the check in the mail. Most elderly people gonna stack them checks up and send them right, give them right back to them. But my point is this: when does leadership believe in God to do the increase? Now they will preach to you about the increase and give, 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 but I didn't hear the church giving anything. Now, I did hear about the food, but come on now. The food came from the government. The church did not go to the grocery store and spend tons of thousands of dollars to feed the people. They didn't do that. They went right to the food bank, the government assistance, and they gave out food. Okay, and here again, when does the church become accountable? When does the church? You cannot continue to go into the church every Sunday, give your tithes, give your offering, and give your service indeed, okay? And come in there and sit. You know what I'm saying? Sunday after Sunday, and then when your turn comes, you don't hear anything. I didn't hear of any pastors calling and saying, hey, listen, can you pay your rent? Can you pay your light bill? Can you listen? We don't have a lot, but we got $50 for you that we sending in the mail. We sending this to all our, you know what I'm saying? It might have been $50 might have went in the gas tank. $50 might have paid a utility bill. No, it might not have been a lot, but it sure would have been nice to know that your bishop or your pastor or your elder or your brother was thinking about you during a time such as this. It is not often that the church has to give back, but the one time that they could have stepped up to the plate and took care of business and made the people feel like all their giving, all their service, all their love and concern and just loving on the church and being a body in the church, they would have felt like, they were really a part of something. Now, I didn't hear of any pastor opening up their doors and saying, hey, listen, do you need to come by here? Do you need to get in? I didn't hear any of that, and I don't think you did either. The church for a very, very long time has been kind of like sliding real on thin ice. The church, I've seen Seventh-day Adventists, they have a hospital. Why don't the churches have a hospital? I'm talking about when you're talking Kojic, you're talking Baptist. I know, like I said, Seventh-day Adventists, maybe Presbyterian. I do know at one time the Presbyterians would come together with a big, huge heave offering, and they would give money to anyone that had an idea. If they had been, if you were an unwed mother and you wanted to service unwed mothers, that was the criteria. You had to be an unwed mother to be able to receive the funding. And I thought that was great. But at what time? And hey, let me tell you something. Even if, as a leader, I didn't have the money, how come all of these leaders didn't get together and say, you know what? We all gonna put in, $100,000. And we're going to tell the people, hey, listen, you can come to us. Whether it don't matter whether you're Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, you know what I'm saying? All put their money together. When does that happen? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when is the church accountable? I want you guys to put your thinking caps on, and I want you guys to be really, really serious, because when this pandemic is over, you got a lot of wise choices to make. Your tithes and offering, if they go into a place where they don't service you in your time of need, you don't ask them for anything any other time. It's not like you put it in there and then next Friday it's like, I got a need. Your tithes and offering, you've been paying tithes and offering for years. Your mother, your grandmother, your father, your grandfather, your children, your grandchildren. That doesn't account for anything. That doesn't even account for a $25 check to say, hey, listen, this is all the church has because there's a lot of us, but hey, we wanted you to know that we're giving. We're doing what we can. I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear any of that. Church has got to do better. And it starts with leadership. It starts with leadership. Now, you guys put the pastors on a pedestal and you pump them up. When God does the increase, God is the one that raises them up. You know what I'm saying? How about this? How about instead of giving your pastor or your church your tithes, how about you do this for a couple of months and see if things don't change? How about you take your tithes and put them in a can? The ones you're going to just put them in a can every month and pay yourself too while you're at it. Pay God a tenth and pay yourself a tenth. And put it in a can. Keep it for about 6 months and don't pay your tithes. And let's see what happens. I bet you $1 and I never bet over a nickel. I bet you somebody will call you on the telephone. Well, Sister so and so, we didn't see your. Oh, they can remember that tithe envelope. They can remember all of that. Mm-mm. No, no, no. It should not be that you have to always be the one to go to the church. That ain't how it works. The church should come to you. I'm Rick the Critic, and that's just my thoughts. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.